Ohayou gozaimasu minasan. Welcome back.
Welcome back to a brand new game, Gwent, the Witcher card game, with a new patch notes to change the entire fucking thing.
So first off, we gotta show the best part of this.
Yeah, these. Because that's how you build a deck right there.
This is it. This is my friend. This is my favorite change of this patch by far.
Easily.
They changed these little icons up here.
They're a little more cartoony up there, I think.
They are.
But I like them. I like the scraps one. I like the ore one. I don't like the keg, but that's whatever.
Yeah. You know,
that's neither here nor there.
One of the things that I have been seeing is you can still do the 4K.
Yes. But
you have to download a free DLC, or at least I did at the time. I don't know if they're going to change that in the future, but that's how I got my 4K back. Other than that, we got a new little patch notes button. I guess you've had this for a while.
Yeah, I've had that for a while, but we also got a new icon. We're Geralt.
Oh yeah, we got the Geralt icon. We can't change it as far as I can tell.
But it's better than being anonymous.
Eventually, that'll come up to where we'll be able to change this because they're doing
sure
changes.
Changing that would change your voice lines and stuff. Like you'd have Triss or
Radovid. Right, that's a good point.
Radovid.
So that's probably why they haven't put anyone else in because they're just well, we'll get into that.
Probably
we'll get into that, but yeah,
all that's the same.
They changed a lot.
They got rid of they got rid of the campaign button.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
It's in the single player part.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, it was supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not here anymore. Or, I wonder if they got rid of it or if they're just changing the icon and so they just removed it for now.
I think what they're doing is since they don't have it finished,
they just didn't want to put it out there.
Yeah, because I wouldn't. Like, I'd look at it and be like, oh, when's this going to fucking be done?
Yeah.
If it's not there, I don't think about it.
Maybe something internally got pushed, so it's not going to be ready for release, so they didn't want the button there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to jump into the patch notes. This is going to be a patch notes thing. It sucks because we recorded, like, I think about 8 episodes or something.
8 or 9, yeah. Where
on Thursday.
Yeah.
And, like, I think this patch came out, like, Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, it came out. It either came out the day after or like the night of because I read it and went, we like recorded that day.
Yeah, I know. It feels so bad that like, so all of our crap is on the old stuff right now.
And had we like, known about this whole thing going on, we would have just recorded and been like, look, here's the patch notes and here's the video before we do anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we're like, what, 4 days late?
Yeah, we're pretty late here, but I want to read through all this shit. They changed so much. So this is called the positioning update. And it's appropriate because of what you're going to see.
They added positioning.
Yes, let's scroll down. So there's the new card laying mechanic here. It'd be kind of nice if it's a little bigger, but...
Yeah. You can keyframe it later.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that.
I could maybe do that. But, so, that's not a bad idea. So, like, basically... this is all sleek and I love this. They changed this all up. Apparently Mason was saying that the end turns go faster.
No, everything goes faster. Like
literally everything about the game.
At least with my games that I was playing, like everything just ran smoother. It ran faster.
So they probably did a lot of internally, like just updating code.
Like
and
if
making
I played a
quicker.
card.
Yeah.
And it would like the cow carcass one.
Right.
It takes a second for like the cow carcass to get over there and do its whole thing. Like even just like waiting for like things to happen.
Right.
It's like maybe it's a second, but those seconds aren't there anymore.
So it looks like they took out the animations or sped them up or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's just like, oh, you threw it out there.
Yeah.
And it just happens.
That's an issue with Hearthstone that's actually really fucking terrible, which I don't know why they haven't changed it, but so many of their cards have really long animations when you play them that like you could play like 4 cards really quickly in Hearthstone and then 30 seconds can go by. Like you can play these cards and then hit end turn and then it'll be like 30 or 45 seconds will go by of the game playing your cards and doing all this hit all these random enemies, and it's like has to do one thing at a time. And
speaking of that, I heard there was a card that had a long enough animation and it also reduced like turn.
Yeah, they had
or something like that.
It's like Nose Dormu or something like that.
Yeah.
He made the turn time 15 seconds, and so what they would do is you would wait till the very last like second and then you would play him and then you'd play like a couple other cards. I think you usually had to wait till the next turn, but you'd wait till like the last second and then you'd play all your cards and you would actually skip the other player's turn because it took so much animation time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's like, I hate that shit. It's fucking pointless. Like, it's cool, but
March 23rd.
Oh yeah, March 23rd.
That was Thursday.
Was it?
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
Tuesday was my birthday.
Son of a bitch. We recorded the day the patch came out, like that night.
It came out. It had to come out while we were recording or that night.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
It's such bullshit.
That fucking sucks. So, new card laying mechanic. Essentially, this changes a lot of the game, by the way. The card no longer gets played to the right. You can place this card, like if we're playing this card right here, we can play it anywhere on that row that it's supposed to go into. So it can go to the left of Geralt right here, all throughout this. So the positioning thing is going to be pretty big going forward.
And a lot of cards have had to have been changed, like how it shows here with the healer.
Right.
It doesn't do a full row +2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it adds 3 strength to adjacent.
Yeah, so wherever you put it, the enemy or the guys next to you.
So this doesn't buff the row; it buffs 2 people.
Yes.
So 1 on each side. So I guess that's why it's a 4 now instead of a 2.
Yes, it used to be a 2.
Because it doesn't buff the whole row, which I think is good.
I think that's a really good thing that they've done.
Just balance changes.
I just hate so much the whole entire
position
mechanic.
Just because it's like you're like fucking up and you feel like a piece of shit. Yeah. You're fucking up.
Because I'm just like, I just want to play my cards. I know what I want to play. I know what I want to do.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
The new game board. Yeah, they changed the game board. They also, what was the other thing? I think it's down here.
Oh yeah, taunts.
We'll keep going. Well, there's the taunts. So you click on your little face. Is that how you bring them up? So you can swagger, rage, menace, critique, praise, thanks. I don't know what these do other than just, does he say words or something?
Yeah, it's just like the critique one, or not critique, the rage was like, well, that really pissed me off. Something like that.
Is it Geralt's voice?
Yes. It's actually
Geralt's voice. I love it.
So it's pretty cool.
Dude, I love that. This is what I was going to talk about, the move history. So on the side, you can, I think there's a button somewhere over here.
Yeah,
you can
it just
click.
says show move history.
Yeah, and it can show you all of what was played, and you can scroll down. So nice. Because sometimes you don't know what was last played, like some of those cards where it's like play the last bronze card played or like copy the last spell card played, and it's like, what was the last one played? Well, let's guess. I don't remember, but now you can actually look it up really quick.
Hopefully it's not a Scorch.
Super cool, super cool. Let's continue to the changes. The changes are going to be big.
These are the things where you guys are going to like fucking
hate us or love us.
One or the other.
Okay, so the Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry is now promoted at the end of the second turn after being played.
Hold on, pause.
What does that mean?
So, you want to just like switch back and forth like we did for the cards when we talk about or go through the list?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll read one,
that
you read
means it does at the end of the turn. It used to do it at the beginning of the turn.
Okay.
So like they would put them down and then the turn thing would like it wouldn't have any, like it wouldn't do anything.
Right.
So now it's like you put them down, you end your turn, and then it pops.
Right.
So.
Okay.
It does that kind of mechanic instead of at the beginning of your turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the significance of that change?
That's the guy that turns gold.
Right.
By himself. So it's just like you put him down, it turns a turn, so then you only have one more turn before he turns gold. So we have less time to deal with it.
Right. Okay. I can see that.
So it's mainly because it's a weak card.
Right.
Even when it turns gold, it's still like not that great. It's an 8 at that
crazy.
point.
Although gold did get buffed, so sort of.
Yeah, gold. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to it. So Philippa ability change. She now gives you the option of playing a special card from your hand, then drawing a card. So I don't know what she used to do, but that's what she does now.
Yeah, I think she just drew a card or something like that.
We got a fuckload of changes here, so we're just going to kind of blast through these a little bit.
We're going to do our best, at least.
Yeah, Leverkin now counts as a token, so he's a spawned unit instead of... he now has the fleeting tag, so this just means you can't like res the Lubberkins and the Blotchlings.
And every single thing that says they now count as a token, anything that's like that now, like if you
just means it just gets banished when it's like it doesn't go to the graveyard if it's a token, right?
Yeah, and like there's a lot of these ones that pop up later on.
Okay.
Like, yeah, so
field medic strength changed. I think all the medics are going to change just because they don't buff the whole row. Yeah.
That's a reser, not a...
Oh, resers. So just all the resers in general got...
All the resers and the buffers kind of got changed.
Okay. The Kedwani Siege Expert will no longer lose strength when units with the machine tag are played.
See, this is what I was telling you about. Like, he would, like, lose strength, but that's not part of his thing.
So he just got, like... Shouldn't that be in the fixes?
I have no idea.
Or I don't know. So he's got strength changed from 5 to 4, so he's weaker now?
Yeah, but he's a +6, but 3 on... Or he's... I don't know how they changed him, like, if it's you select the 2 or select adjacent ones, but it's a +3 on 2 different guys. So
Death Mold can now banish a card from either graveyard. It's decent.
I think that was just banishing from theirs.
Yeah.
Before
Triss Butterfly spell strength change from 4 to 6.
So that's a really big change that I'm not too happy about for Northern Realms, like playing against them.
Yeah.
Because that butterfly spell
is nice. So she's now an 8 instead of a 6, essentially, because she's gold, right?
Well, she also. No, I thought the spell strength was 4 to. I thought she. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I read it wrong.
Triss Butterfly spell strength change from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the spell strength, like the spell like that it would put into your hand, was also a +4
right
to everything. So I thought
maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
I don't know. It's either So she's either an 8 or she adds a 6 instead of a 4.
Okay.
Either
way, she got buffed.
Later. Yeah.
Kira ability change. She now sets the unit on her right's strength to that of the unit on her left, if both are non-gold.
That's cool.
It is cool. So I like this. It makes things a little more complicated, but I also like that because it brings the whole positioning update brings a lot of strategy into where you place your cards, which I like. I didn't like that all the cards were just kind of thrown down, but what it also means is it gives them wiggle room to not have to do everything to the whole row anymore.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't choose where you wanted to place a card, they had to affect the whole row with everything they did. So the fact that they did this change, I think, opens up their design choices a lot.
Yes.
Which I like.
So this makes it so other cards can be put in that are going to have really cool effects like that.
Yeah. And they don't have to always just do the whole row because you can't. It's a little different. I don't know. I guess they didn't have to do it that way, but it felt like they did a lot of stuff that way.
Yeah.
Just because of the way buffs worked. All right. Ravadid ability change. This changed a lot. It now lets you choose 3 adjacent units and locks and deals 2 base damage to all non-gold units among them. So this would be on the enemy. And when it says choose 3 adjacent units, it just means the middle thing that you click, it's going to do the one to the left and right.
Yes.
So maybe in a future update, they're going to change that and let you like pick an initial card and then like pick the direction or something, but probably not.
I wouldn't think so.
They probably want you, but it's just weird that it says choose 3 adjacent units.
Yeah.
Because you're not really choosing the 3, you're choosing 1, then the adjacent units.
Well, you have to scroll over like these 3 or these 3.
Right.
Well, you're only choosing one different card.
I think it would make more sense if it says choose a card and then the adjacent units are affected, not you choose 3. So maybe they just changed the text or something.
The text would be a lot better.
It's just a little confusing, right? When I read this, I was like, does that mean you get to actually choose 3 things that are adjacent to each other? Or, like it was a little confusing. But essentially, that's what you get to do. But
it's a really strong card, though, with the locks. Like, that's really helpful.
Yeah, that's 3 locks, and you do a little bit of damage to them. I like it. John Natalis now buffs units one after the other, meaning he can buff the same unit multiple times. So I don't know who he was.
He was the guy that would buff 1x3, 1x2, 1x1.
Okay.
So you can just click on the same one 3 times.
That's cool. So that's a little bit of a buff to him. Vernon Roach can no longer target gold units.
Which is very important because no unit's going to target gold units anymore. You cannot hit gold units. That's why they had to change Ravadid up there. That's why they had to do all sorts of shit with him.
So they've changed literally anything that didn't say like non-gold. It is all gone now. Other than
they still say non-gold on the card, but I don't understand. Like the only reason they say that is for silver and bronze instead of saying bronze.
Right.
So the whole you can't destroy gold cards unless you have your Dimeridium Shackles or a Dimeridium Bomb,
and that's it.
And you pop them.
That's the only way, is if you demote them from gold with those 2 specific cards, the gold cards. Because the gold cards were kind of meant to be like, hey, you're fucked. Like, you got nothing, man.
Yeah, see, with
like,
that,
this is my card.
If they're, like, technically impossible to kill. Like, before, I was like, okay, you can hit them with certain things.
Right.
There's ways to stop them.
Right.
Now, it seems like we need to have less gold cards per deck.
There's only 4 of them, though.
Yeah, but I'd hate...
It's 4 of 25 minimum, 40 maximum. So it's a low amount of cards. If you get 4 of them,
man, if you get 4...
Yeah.
If you get Tybor Egerbach, you just stand there and go, shit.
Most of the time they do that anyway. Like, that's how it was before. Like, you were kind of fucked anyway before. It's just now there's a couple less things that can deal with gold, which I don't think is a huge difference, personally, because there wasn't that many ways to deal with them before.
I disagree, but
All right. Vernon Roach. Dijkstra, strength change from 5 to 1. So why did he go from 5 to 1? Dijkstra, ability change. He now plays a gold card from your deck. That's
why he went.
Cool. All right. Margarita now spawns the Adepts instead of the whatever ban art Adepts. Okay, so she just spawns different cards.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just a different spawn unit.
But Pavetta now only destroys the weakest units once. Was that the one that did it twice in a row?
I believe so.
Because that shit was broken, right? Like straight up fucking broken. Like, even though it was the weakest, it's like, okay, kill his weakest and now kill his super fucking strongest. Like, it was bullshit. Because usually there wasn't that much shit on the row anyway.
Yeah.
So that was basically like kill the whole row. It's fucked up. I'm glad with that change.
Mm-hmm.
Remove the relentless tag from Trish's butterfly spell. Okay. Dijkstra is now disloyal, so he's a spy now.
Yes.
Reinforced Trebuchet's strength from 5 to change from 5 to 4. Reinforced Trebuchet's countdown change from 3 to 1. Reinforced Trebuchet's damage change from 2 to 1. So does that just mean every turn it does 1 damage like Yennefer?
Yeah.
Does it do it just one randomly though?
Yeah, it just does 1 random unit. So like I played against a Northern Realms bot just when this first came out.
Right.
And he put 3 of them out and then copied it.
Oh geez. Yeah, with his arrow thing.
And so it would just 4, -4,
right.
-4 from just random shit. So it's not like we hit all the 2s.
Right.
It's
So it's what we want Yennefer to be. Did Yennefer get any changes?
No, unfortunately, and I searched the entire thing for it.
Vernon Roach can now target units on your side as well. Okay. What did Vernon Roach do? I don't remember.
He could only hit opposing units, and he could hit gold.
Right.
But now he can't, and now he can hit units on your side.
Okay. Shawnee's strength changed from 3 to 2. Okay.
I think she was one of the reserves for the.
Perhaps. Yeah. John Natala's buff changed, values changed to 3, 2, and 1 respectively.
Yeah.
Strength changed from 5 to 6. Botchling changed from 4 to 5. Dandelion changed from 3 to 5. Priscilla now So does Dandelion still do the whole row then? Or he didn't do the whole row before?
He just puts any card you put down.
Right. So he's still the same. He's just stronger. Priscilla now draws one of the cards face down.
She drew 2 cards, and you got to pick which one you wanted, but now she draws 1 face down, 1 face up.
Okay. Triss, Butterfly Spell now adds 2 strength to all non-gold units in your hand. Mm-hmm. Right. Taller changed from 6 to 8, so he's the guy that was draw a card, right? Mm-hmm. So they just made him a little stronger for letting both people draw a card.
Yes.
Which I think is nice. Makes him a little more
especially since
useful.
It's a loyal card, not disloyal.
Right. Dijkstra is now agile. What the hell does that mean?
I'm sure that means you can put him anywhere.
Any row?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's I think they changed some of the text like this, like token and stuff, to be consistent throughout all of the cards.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't as confusing, but it is confusing because now we have to learn like new terms for what things are. Poor Infantry strength changed from 2 to 3.
It makes them a 6 to a 9.
Right. So that's the one where you play one and it copies itself twice.
Yeah.
The 2s. So that's a pretty big change.
Which is really important to know when Full Test copies them if they're like an 11.
Right.
It only copies one, it only makes it one more 11 and then the other 2 are 2s. Or 3s.
Okay.
Really important to know.
That is important to know. Redaining Elite changed from 6 to 7. Okay, that's just a buff again.
Yeah, that's the guy if you play 3 of them.
Yeah, then they go gold. Mm-hmm. That seems good. Like it's just a little bit of extra stats. Like across all 3 of them, that's 3 extra points.
Yep.
They definitely need a little bit. All right, monster decks.
Monster faction ability can now only keep Eridan and units played from your hand, meaning it will not keep mustered, spawned, resurrected, etc. units.
So yes, I love this change. Also, the resurrected sucks a little bit.
Because we bring back Eridan 1 round and we can't keep him.
But I like this change overall. Mm-hmm. I don't like when things get mustered, or I would assume the foglets count as mustered.
Yes.
And that was the biggest issue, is they would get spawned out and then you'd keep a foglet that then would die. So, and it wasn't like something, I mean, you can plan around it obviously, but it sucks when it happens. You know? So I like this change overall. I think it's good.
It adds technically versatility to your deck where it's like, I can play whatever I kind of want.
Right. and I'm not worried about these cards that are going to get mustered out.
Yes.
All right.
So the Vran Warrior, the lizard dude, now consumes the unit on its right, which is really important because it used to only take the weakest unit out of the row.
Right. But now, because you can place him, you get to choose who he absorbs.
Yes.
Which is better than what it was before, kind of.
Yes.
Like, if you want to absorb an egg, for instance, from like a harpy egg, you can now put him exactly where you want him.
Yep.
So it's great. But then he will also consume the next thing on his right the next time he consumes.
Assuming there's something there.
Yeah, assuming something's there. So you can kind of plan around that too. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, like if you want him to absorb lots of stuff, you can plan around that as well.
Yes.
I like it. It's cool.
It's a good change. I think it's, like with the positioning thing, it's really important that they did that.
Yeah, I'm glad they did.
Draug's strength changed from 6 to 7. He's the one that does a bunch of damage, just like over the board.
Okay.
On their side.
Right.
And he has another change later on.
Okay.
They removed the breedable tag from Neckers, which is really important because that deck was so broken.
Well, versus not weather decks.
No, versus anything.
Because it wasn't a big deal versus my weather deck,
See,
I gotta tell
here's
you.
the thing, though. With your weather decks, it could still beat you, technically. Like, it had, like, the best chance, I think, of beating you.
It could, but
It didn't.
it didn't.
That's not the point. The point is,
It would have had they not nerfed
it's
this.
so fucking strong.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. It was really powerful. It needed to change.
Especially with this whole entire Vran Warrior now consumes this thing.
Yeah.
Made it really, like, it would have made it even stronger, so I'm really happy they removed that breedable tag because now they can't be copied onto the field.
Right.
They can still be copied into your deck by the Necker champions.
Yep.
But that's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Wispus and the Weavis, which is those two there,
Yep.
both got dropped down 1 point, which are
The two
are mustered from the Crones, yeah. So
Yeah,
any of the Crones get played, you pull those two.
They're not
the
as
other
strong.
one is still the same.
Still an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Woodland Spirit, I'm sorry, Joel. I'm sorry.
I know. They got buff nerfed.
He got buffed to an 8.
And he also got buffed against monster decks because what he does is only fogs your side
Yes.
now instead of their side. So that helps you versus monster decks, but it doesn't help you versus any other deck.
Yep.
So
But that'll come in later.
Yep.
The Fire Elemental got changed from a 5 to a 6, so it's just a little stronger.
And to be fair, the weather decks needed, like, this was coming. I knew this was coming down the pipeline.
Everyone knew that something was going to happen to weather, but
And
the worst
this
is yet to come.
This is a good way to change it. You know, that's a good start, I
Yeah.
think, personally. Okay.
The
Fire Elemental.
Caliano Harpy, the one that spawns harpies out of the eggs, is
Yes.
changed from a 3 to a 5. I think that was a good decision because those could be... They were weak cards.
Yeah.
And
So-
even if they were buffed from the ones that they spawned in,
Yeah.
they still didn't
Weren't
get
good.
that strong.
Yeah, so I think it's a good change to make
Yeah.
this a viable deck
Yes.
combo.
Nithral, the dude that we don't have yet that you need to get,
Mm.
his strength has been changed from a 6 to an 8. Because he is a silver, he's not a gold. He can be targeted by cards.
Stuff, right?
And so he was probably just getting like shocked out really fast.
I like this change.
Yeah, the Ice Giant, when I knew you did it,
I loved
is
it.
now also buffed when played onto the row with Frost.
Yes. So they can't, like, if
So
you
it's
have
a
to.
12.
Yeah. He's just, yeah, he's good. I love the Ice Giant.
Yes, you do.
I want to make this weather deck work.
We will make it work.
Mark talked about it. He's like, man, you got fucking nerfed. I was like, yeah, feels bad, man, but you know what?
We'll find a way.
That just means you got to put more weather cards in, bitch. If half my hand is weather cards, you can only clear weather 3 times, motherfucker. Bring it on.
What up, Mark?
We got this shit. All right,
The
Harpy
Harpy
strength.
the base Harpies have just been changed from 3 to a 4. They still have the same exact effects. Everything's the
love
same. Imlerith now deals 3 damage to a non-gold unit and 1 damage to any of the non-gold cards adjacent to it.
Right, so you pick a card, 3 damage, and then the other cards.
So this is
take
just
one.
like that one thing we were talking about earlier where you hit the middle one, hits on the sides.
Yeah.
And like that's the wording they needed to use on that card
I
prior.
like it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like
And-
this kind of wording.
Yes. Very much so. And now Draug, again, his ability has been changed. It now deals 1 damage 7 times to
Whoa.
random opposing non-gold
It's
units.
kind of cool.
So that thing will just trigger and pow, 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 pow.
That's pretty cool.
It
and
is.
and it does it pretty fast, right?
I haven't seen him yet.
I would hope so, because in like I said in Hearthstone,
Yeah.
things where they deal 1 damage like multiple times, they've had a lot of cards like that, and they're very slow because it's shoo 1, shoo
Well, you've seen it before
that
where
one,
it's just like
shoo that one,
like that one thing, the Maganel that we used and we
right,
revealed their cards.
Right.
And it was just like
pew, pew, pew. So
So
it goes fast.
I assume it'd go that fast.
I would assume it'd go fast.
So yeah.
It's cool.
Galus, ability change. He now adds 2 strength to each non-gold unit on your side. So instead of the changing 1 row to 6, he adds 2 to everything.
It's pretty.
As long as they're not gold.
It's pretty powerful.
It is pretty powerful, and I feel like they did that because he didn't change their base strength. He buffed them to 6, so
right.
anyone could just go, oh,
Yeah.
Dimeridium Bomb.
Yeah. Fuck your row.
Or if they were already buffed on that row, it would reduce them to 6.
I like it.
So I like that they did that. The Golem has been changed from a 6 to a 7.
Girl, shit.
The Katakan, a very, very strong card,
Got
has
nerfed
been
a little.
changed from a 6
good.
to a 4, which is really important because it can take a 12 out of your graveyard.
Right. It can be very powerful, so
Yeah.
it needed to not be as powerful.
The Vran Warrior, however, has been buffed to a 6 rather than a 5. The Succubus changed from an 8 to a 7. I'm not 100% sure on why they would do that.
Yeah, I don't know
Other than
either.
the fact that it's a disloyal card, so maybe they did that because...
I guess that's true. So it's actually a buff to her
yeah, it's
and not a
technically-
nerf.
Yeah.
This is a buff. Because you got to remember, Succubus is disloyal, so anything that goes on their side, you want it to be as
Yeah.
low as possible.
But I'm just trying to think of why they changed it from an 8 to a 7. Like,
Maybe she's just a little too weak. They just want to give her a little buff,
yeah.
I guess, is all.
The Griffin Strength changed from a 6 to a 7, which is really good because you can use it now and you can still remove cards from their deck. It's just a +1, but the +1
Yeah.
is also very important all the time. And here's the shittiest
fog,
part.
yeah. Woodland Spirit now only spawns fog on the player side. Feels bad.
Yeah.
But it's a good change. I'm glad they did it. I think it was needed. And yeah, I'm fine with it. All right. Here we go. Scoia'tael. Remove Relentless Tag from Aglas. Don't know who that is.
It's someone that if we played a card, it wouldn't let us replay them.
Hawker Healer now buffs adjacent units. This is the positioning change. That's why they put this here. I think this is really good. The Hawker Healers were way too powerful
Yes,
in the
they were.
Scoia'tael decks specifically.
Because of how many times it can be replayed.
Yeah, because they can A, replay them, and B, like, res them and, like, copy them and do all sorts of weird shit.
Yep.
They can't do that anymore. In a lot of different ways now, in fact, actually. Torvel now adds 2 strength to all units within 2 spaces when revealed. So what does that mean?
I think that's the dude. That's like the card with the guy with the sword in the person's face.
Okay.
And he's sitting on him.
So what is within 2 spaces? Does that it just mean, like, could it go to other rows? Like, is it like a weird 2 square around, or is it just 2 spaces
I
on, like,
want
the
to say
sides?
it's each side because it's a agile unit.
Right. So you place him in the middle of, like, 4 dudes, and he would buff the 4 dudes?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Because he's the one that when you pass, he reveals.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark.
Yeah, he knows everything.
I know he
He's a
does.
fucking wizard. All right, Hawker Smuggler's ability now triggers after certain abilities, such as lock, are resolved.
So that one dude that goes off of special cards now triggers
Right.
after, like when he puts down a cleaver and locks us, he triggers.
Oh.
It
Oh,
sounds
so
like,
he triggers after. So lock is now. Or
considered
no, it's
special.
after this is resolved.
Yeah. So once the lock is clicked on and done,
Right.
then it does it. So if
It doesn't.
if they were to lock him,
Yeah.
but like the lock card went down first, he would trigger
Yeah.
before the lock would happen. So it's saying once the lock has been officially done,
Yeah.
then he triggers.
Okay.
At least that's how I can assume.
It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
After it just says certain abilities.
Yeah.
Mahakam Defender strength changed from 4 to 5, so they got a little stronger.
They
These
got
are
the
resilience
one
guys.
buff.
Mahakam Defender's resilience now only lasts 1 round, which is what it should have been in the first place.
Yep.
Why the fuck wasn't it? This is what I thought it was, and thank God it is this way.
Yeah.
Because their text was the same as the other guy who only lasted 1 round, the
So
silver
they were
card.
missing one word,
Yeah, the one word.
and I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember the one word either.
It's like at the beginning of a round,
yeah,
or
something. It's
Yeah,
bullshit. The
when
point
played.
is, this is good change. Thank you.
but
Get nerfed. But to be fair, we tried this deck and we were
we
terrible
fucked
at
up
it.
because we did it wrong. We'll be honest. I'll be honest at least.
We did it wrong. I'll be honest, okay?
Well, see,
it
here's
was
the thing.
Mason's fault.
It was my fault. But another thing is, Joel wanted to be honest about it. I wouldn't let him. So that I had a.
He beats me every night about it.
He made me cry a few times. They beat me with oranges.
Let's keep going.
Moving on.
We're moving on. Hawker Smuggler's ability is no longer triggered by gold cards. Okay, Hawker Smuggler's strength changed from 5 to 4. Saskia's strength changed from 9 to 7.
She's the one that
That's good.
would destroy the, or subtract 1 from everyone, add 1 to everyone.
Yeah, good. Nerfer. I like it. Zoltan Chive's strength changed from 5 to 8. His resilience only lasts 1 round now. I like this more than what he had before, to be honest.
Yes, honestly.
I think he's stronger now overall.
Before it's like, oh, you have a 5 every round.
I mean, yeah, so it's like only 15 and now it's 16, but for 2 rounds, which is way better. I like him. I think it's a good change.
Can pull him. Like if you can pull him the first round of the prior
if you can do it,
15.
he's good. He's a good first round card. And he can't really be affected anymore, so it's great. Barclay L's ability no longer affects gold units. Okay.
I can't remember what he did.
I don't know either. Yorveth can no longer target gold units. So this is anything that can target gold units, they remove this shit.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going. Rihid Sapper strength changed from 4 to 8. Sapper's abilities is now an ambush triggered after 2 turns. Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Wait. Am I thinking of the wrong card with the Hawker Smuggler?
I don't know. It's possible.
Maybe the Sapper's the one that does that.
It's possible.
I don't know. We have to look at it. But
so the Trapper now deals 5 damage to adjacent units when revealed.
That's the one that's our favorite.
That does the 4.
Ambush.
Used to do the 4 to the whole row, right? Now I like this, but it also means they can play around it. Mm-hmm. Sort of. Like if they only have one thing on the row and you play this down, as long as they don't put it on the right side, right, like onto the left or whatever, then it'll only get hit by one thing. But if you put it in the middle of 2 of their cards, they're fucked, you know. Mm-hmm. So you might have to hold on to him a little longer than normal. Her a little longer. Milva's strength changed from 7 to 8. Ithleen now lets you choose 3 adjacent units and locks or unlocks non-gold units among them.
I think that's the one that used to replay a card.
Okay. So now she instead locks or unlocks them if they are locked.
So that's really important.
But you choose, again, it says choose 3 adjacent units, so I guess you have to pick close.
It's really an important thing because before we were always talking about, well, does the Blizzard potion trigger or not trigger? And it talks about it later. Or if I was to lock something that was already locked, would it unlock it? Right. And they've actually put it into the game now where a lock will unlock, a Blizzard potion will toggle on and off.
Will it? Okay.
Things like that. So
that's cool.
We don't have to worry about that anymore. And it even just talks about like, this is now a toggle card. Like
that's cool.
Later on, but
so it makes Blizzard potions interesting.
It makes it so you can use them in your weather deck and actually just shut people off.
Yeah.
Like Aridin.
Right. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right, Yorveth can now also target units on your side.
Just like Vernon Roach.
Which is good.
Strange.
It's useful. I feel like that's just a good like quality of life change. Like if they, you use your stupid cow tosser. I love the cow tosser. You toss the rot tosser, you toss a cow over and you've got Yorveth. You're like, man, I'm going to lose a lot of shit here. I can just take the 6 hit and hit at this guy and I'm going to save myself in the long run.
Or you can just throw it back at him.
There's options.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Hawker support strength changed from 3 to 6.
This is the one that gained points off of special cards.
And the Hawker support buff value changed from 3 to 2. Mm-hmm. Milena base strength changed from 6 to 8. Yorveth changed to range. So he was any row, but they just made him ranged, which makes sense. I don't know why he was any row. Like
he was agile.
I know, but it made sense that he would be a range. It made
sense. Shut the fuck up.
Agalis changed to siege. Isgrim changed to ranged. Strength from 6 to 7 for Yorveth.
Illithine or whatever it is not the person I was thinking it was.
Okay, someone different.
Yeah, but Yorveth gets a +1. So
yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, you just can't hit gold.
Yes, my cow carcass.
Cow carcass spawned by Rot Tosser now triggers at the end of the second round after appearing.
It's my turn.
So you have your 1 turn to deal with it, and if you don't, it blows up.
I think so.
Essentially. That's cool. So it's stronger now.
Ox got changed from a 7 to an 8, which is just a cleaver.
Yeah, just
he's
a buff.
Witcher.
I like him. He's a cool card.
The Witcher part doesn't matter anymore, though. We'll get to that later.
Oh, really?
Joaquin DeWitt, a spy that you put on the other side. He now buffs the unit before it's placed on the battlefield.
Okay.
So, like, before he would place it into weather, maybe, it would get sent to 1, and he'd add an 8 to it.
Yeah.
So then it'd get to a 9. So now, when he gets played, if it's in weather, it is a 1.
So he buffs himself first before anything happens, and then he's played into whatever the row is.
Which I think is really important because...
Well, it could also be, too, that, like, if he was played into a row that had, like, an ambush or something, he might die before he buffs himself.
Yeah, things like that.
Whereas, like, now it seems like he'll do that before he gets placed to whatever situation he's going to. I like that. It's a good change.
The Black Infantry
Arbalist?
That's what it is. Strength change from 5 to 4. I can't remember what they do.
Are we on Nilfgaard? Yes, we are on Nilfgaard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, they're the 5/3 damager person for them. But now I think that's a good change because they were a 5 strength and they could remove 5 if the other person was strengthened.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's good.
The Nazca Standard Bearer now buffs adjacent units.
Instead of the whole row, for positioning.
Ken Trella strength change from 6 to 12. This is the spy that while spying is a 12, but now it's just a base 12. But when it's not spying, it gets changed to a 6.
Right. So they just reversed the way they said the card, really, which is probably easier to understand this way, I would say.
The Impera Enforcers. Sorry, I can't read the letters that are like lengthy.
We could turn this a little bit for you.
Oh, thanks. I only need that much, dude. I don't need that much.
Have all the change. Look at this.
It's triggered now. Now triggers before the leader ability is resolved. So these are the guys. When you use a leader ability, they gain like 6 strength. And if you had Radovid before, you could kill that thing before its trigger would happen. So it's just another thing where it's like, oh, we're changing when it happens. Yeah. Which is really important. Okay. Spotters are now always ranged. You can't put them everywhere.
Right. Those were the ones that got buffed when you revealed.
Yes.
Okay.
Letho now banishes units within 2 spaces. So
positioning.
It's
cool. That's strong.
Yeah.
I like it. That's strong.
The Imperial Brigade's buff value changed from a 3 to a 2. So it's just like making them not as strong, obviously. Not a buff. It's not necessarily a nerf because it's all based off of you, but yeah. Assassination no longer does any damage to your units. If you remember before, it would do equal amount of damage between, like if they had a 23 and you had a 2, it would do 23 damage to your 2 and kill your 2. Or if you had a 24, it would do 23 damage to your 24. So just randomly picked.
So now you can just kill one of their units.
Yes.
Like you can just scorch one of their guys, basically.
It's
guaranteed.
I think you get to pick which guy it is as well. Yeah.
So that's cool.
But it was a gold. It's their gold spell.
Right. And so that probably can still target gold cards. So.
I am not sure. I think it says non-gold on it.
It might. I'm not
sure.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't. That's interesting. Let's keep going.
When Kentarella draws a card, you now select it if you want to keep it.
Okay.
So that just goes with the spy. K here, the guy that would reactivate your leader cards. That guy. He now only does it to yours.
Oh.
But we let the opponent draw a revealed bronze unit.
So it draws and then it reveals it.
Yeah, but if they have passed, his effect does not count.
So that's cool. So that makes him way better.
Because before, they could pass and you could play another turn or 2 or whatever you wanted to get your ability back.
Right.
So that's better. I like it a lot. I didn't like his card before.
Yeah, I like it now.
I really do.
Yeah, I think he's really good now.
Cynthia's ability
the fact that he draws and reveals a bronze card too is really cool.
Reveal is very important.
Yes. All right. Sorry to catch you off. Let's keep going.
That's all right, man. Don't you worry. I shouldn't have kept talking. Cynthia and Albric, the ones that make you draw cards and such, they now do nothing if the opponent has passed. So you can't... I'm sure there was something where, like, if you played Albric, they wouldn't draw a card if they had passed, but you would, since they couldn't technically do anything. I never tried it.
Right. So it might have worked that way, and now they're just like saying, hey, this is how the card works, instead of making it confusing. Or maybe it did draw a card, but it was weird when they were passed, and I don't know. Yeah. I like it. I think it's good.
It's a good change. I like it.
Because it's like if they've passed, they either want to lose or you know what I mean? So it's like it makes sense that they shouldn't also get this bonus if you keep playing cards into them being passed.
If you play like an Xbox Live player.
Yeah. All right.
Vatier de Ridu, which is a guy that lets you... It's that guy we made that we reveal 2 cards, they reveal 2 cards. Really strong. change to a 7 or change to an 8 from a 7, which
it's good.
I think it's good because if you don't have enough cards in your hand to reveal, what's he worth?
Yeah, he's not as useful.
So yeah,
that's cool.
The Imperial Brigade, the ones that get buffed from from spies getting placed.
Yeah.
They used to only be buffed if you played them and spies were out. Now they get buffed when a spy unit has been played.
Okay.
The Emissary now lets you drop the top 2 bronze units in your deck. You play one and shuffle the other into your deck, which is, I think, way better than what it was.
What did he do before?
Before he would just pull out a bronze card. So
right, like, just randomly.
Yeah, so I would like pull like him, and then it would pull out my other 2 emissaries, and then like my spy ambassador when I had no cards on the thing. So it's like
right.
Cool.
I remember that from our filth guard.
Yep.
So now it's giving you a little bit of choice.
Yep.
When you pull 2, so you don't completely fuck yourself if you want to play him on like an empty board or something like that.
Yeah.
It still might be a little risky depending on what you have in your deck, but yeah, I like that. That's good.
Fake series now strength change from 3 to a 6.
That just seems good.
It's yeah. Her effect isn't as good as what the.
So maybe they realized that, hey, her effect's kind of shitty, so we got to buff her.
Well, it's strength. Good because like when you pass, she goes to the other, like she switches to the other side. Right. But if they just like you put that out and they just pass the round, she's a 3. Yeah. You won the round, but. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
The Rot Tosser strength changed from 4 to 6. The reason I like it so much is because the carcass is not being changed.
It is. It triggers faster now, right?
Well, no, I mean like the strength of the carcass is not being changed. Because once you toss that carcass, whether it kills something or not, right, it's a 1. Yeah. And it might not like do more damage or anything, but that's just a 4, and it's done after that. Like its usefulness is all over. Yeah. You can buff it maybe, but that's about it.
But it's a powerful card. Because if you do kill something really useful, now it's even more useful.
But there's a lot of ways to get rid of that card. There
is. And if your deck is missing like certain types of removal, you might want to put that into your deck to like deal with these. So I understand what you're saying. I'm salty because this card fucks me over a lot.
But see, like it's a good card deck, since they have the they used to have like the Hawker Killer that would buff the whole row. Right. They put that thing down. It's a 2. Yeah. The carcass would take down the 2. Yeah. But it would still get the buff out, so it wouldn't matter. Right. Okay. Maybe Assassination only does like base amounts of damage.
Assassination now also locks its target. Huh. I don't know. We'll have to look at that sometime.
Tibor Eggerbach, my favorite card. Now makes your opponent draw the top bronze card in their deck.
Right. So it's...
Or top bronze card, sorry. I thought it was... Before it was they just draw a card. Now it's top bronze.
So you don't get to choose... Because was that how it worked before? You got to choose? How did it work?
No, before you got just a card. So like they could get a Scorch. They could get all sorts of shit.
So it was just they draw a card. But now it's only their bronze. Oh, it's top bronze card.
I thought it said bronze unit when I read it.
So before. They cannot pull a gold card with it, for example.
Yes.
Which is good, I suppose. Although their top bronze card or top card could be a bronze card, and then their next card could be something else. So. Mm-hmm. But I like that. You just know specifically they're not pulling anything above bronze when you play him. All right, Skellige. Clan Dimmu Pirate Captain is now buffed when you discard a unit while it's in your deck, hand, or on the battlefield.
This is the guy that we had in our deck that after we discarded shit, he was just like a 4 the entire time. Uh-huh. And so it was like, oh, because he used to have to be on the field.
Oh, so now he's even more powerful. Mm-hmm. Holy
now
shit.
He is like
really
super
powerful.
Strong.
Yeah, that sounds really fucking powerful. Mm-hmm. This guy's abilities change from immune to weather, draw a card. Wait, what? Change 2. Immune to weather, draw a card. You may keep it or discard it and draw another. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sure. You draw a card. He's immune to weather. I'm guessing he's a spy. Just from the fact that you get to draw a card.
Yeah, I know which one he is, yeah.
So, Restoration no longer resurrects permadeath units. That's their silver spell card. Yeah. Which is good. I don't like resurrecting permadeath units at all because that's how you resurrect healers and stuff who then res more things and like... the combo gets crazy when you do shit like that. I don't like it. Herald the Cripple now deals 2 damage to all opposing non-gold units.
Again, taking power out of hitting gold units, or taking power away from the fact that they could have hit gold units.
So does he not do also 3 if they're weakened?
No, he does not.
So he's just 2 damage to all. So he's just straight up nerfed.
Yeah, he is 100%
like just
nerfed.
Straight up.
He just got crippled.
I mean, it's appropriate, right?
Fuck you, Mason. I'm out of here.
Get the fuck out of my house, bitch. Clan Heyman, Scald now buffs adjacent units, positioning change. War Longship now triggers only when units are discarded.
So that's the one where if we killed a unit, it would shoot at us.
Right. So it's only when they're discarded, not when they're also removed from the board. Big change. I think that's really good. Fuck that card.
Yeah.
A card can get crazy if you're like just removing stuff from his side of the board, which happens.
It's a -2, and if they have 2 of them out on the board,
yeah, you're fucked. So yeah, that's a good change. I like that. It's still powerful for discard decks, but it's not broken like it was before.
It's a discard deck, not a removal deck.
Yeah. Clan Torodoro Armorsmith now resets weakened units within 4 spaces to the left. So 4 spaces. So this is saying the 2 spaces is definitely... When they say within 2 spaces, that means 2 spaces to the left and right is what I'm picking up right now, just from this text right here. So he's cool. He can hit basically the whole row to reset the whole row. 4 spaces is a lot to the left.
That's 4 cards.
But that does mean it's very important to not place him on the left. You place him on the right. Don't place him on the left. He's not going to do anything. I'm sure people are going to fuck that up at some point.
Yep.
Getting used to that. Lord of Unvik now counts as a token. Okay. Hemdall now has the fleeting tag. Hemdall now counts as a token. All right. Craven Revive now has fleeting token. Lord of Unvik is fleeting tag. Spirit Well now counts as a token, so you can't res the Spirit Well. It's now fleeting. I wonder why they have fleeting on there.
Fleeting means it's banishing itself. Like it gets in the graveyard and it goes away.
Right. So maybe they have to have fleeting and token. Yeah. So token means it's spawned.
Yeah, because the token for like monster decks, it can't keep a token unit.
Right.
But if it was fleeting, it would also possibly keep it.
Right.
Without the token card.
Yeah. And just with the token, it would go to the graveyard and not also. So you just kind of use both of them. I can see. It's a little confusing. Maybe not necessary to have double tags there, but
maybe if tokens were just fleeting cards, that would
it kind of makes sense. But maybe there's a distinction there that we're not seeing.
I feel like they're just putting it there because then they're like, okay, these were token cards before, but these ones aren't fleeting.
Right.
And these ones didn't fleet before, but they were tokens. Like,
see, I don't know if there are any tokens that don't also banish themselves.
That's the thing. So it's like,
So I don't know if there's probably a reason. Yeah. Let's just say that.
If it's there, there's a reason for it.
Drumon's Sealed Maiden's copies are now played to the right of the original. So that's a positioning change. Yes, it is. So it just gives you some consistency. You know where this is going to spawn what. Mm-hmm. Holgar Blackhand strength change from 4 to 6. Wild Boar of the Sea strength change from 8 to 6. Wild Boar of the Sea ability change. He now deals 3, then 2, then 1 to non-gold units. That seems pretty good. Mm-hmm. War Longship strength change from 4 to 5. What were these?
5 to 4.
5 to 4. Said it.
That's the thing that shoots when you discard.
Oh, right. The ship. Okay, so they're a little weak. So they got nerfed across the board on this one, which is good. I think they were too powerful before.
They were a very strong card.
Brianna Brand, strength change from 12 to 10. Brianna Brand now draws 2 cards instead of 3. So she's a spy, I'm guessing, reading this.
Like up against the rock in the rain.
So she used to draw 3 cards.
Yeah, you drew 3.
And then you discarded 2.
Yeah.
So now she draws 1 and discards 1, I guess.
She draws 2 and then discards.
So it gives, so less discard and less choice, which is good. But is it good? Mm-hmm. She was really powerful for the discard deck, so I think that's probably why it needed to happen. It's like too much discard.
Well, if you play her with the discard deck,
yep,
she's a silver. You put her down, you discard. Those ships can blow her up way fast.
Oh, really? That's kind of fucked up.
I think she's a silver at least.
Oh, well, yeah, probably. All right, Sirius is now buffed by Queensguard even when locked, whether in the graveyard or battlefield. All right, we've never played Sirius, but we always read her. So
she's a gold card, and when she goes to the graveyard, she becomes silver, so you can res her.
Oh, I see.
With restoration.
Right, because she's not permadeath.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
She. But what this is saying is her ability is that she gets buffed by the Queen's Guards.
So, even if the Queen's Guard are locked.
Yeah.
Even if she's locked, they still buff her. Right. Okay, Morkvar, poor guy. He's changed from 7 to 6.
And I think that's important because...
he removed 2, so he would stay alive at 1. right? So that it means he doesn't come back an extra time.
But he gets +1 every round.
Right. So he also stays. So he stays even less because of that kind of.
He stays less, which is, I think, really important because people could possibly...
Like round 3, he will not be there.
Yeah.
Where he would before is the bigger part.
Yeah.
But you can still buff the shit out of him with the +2 to base strength guys. Yeah. So, okay, just a little... I like... It's a good change.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like, it's not destroying a card.
Yeah. Which is what... this is also another thing about Hearthstone that I really hate. Blizzard, what they'll do is they won't change cards for like a really long time, and then if there's a card that just everyone has to fucking play, they just nerf it into the ground to where it's completely unusable. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, there was a card, I think it's called the Warsong Commander, and the way the Hearthstone would work is you'd play the Warsong Commander, and then if you played a card that had like 3 or less attack damage or something, they would immediately be able to attack. Like they would gain charge, and they changed it to where they changed that down to like things that already have charge get +1 strength or something stupid.
That's dumb.
It's like you completely made this card pointless. Like, why would you nerf it this fucking bad? Or like, why would you just change it to something that's at least usable? Like, why make this card so literally no one will ever fucking play this card? It's complete garbage now. And I hate that shit. So it's like, I like these kind of changes. All the changes I've read so far is like, okay, yeah.
It makes sense.
There's just remove a little here, add a little there. To be fair, there's more wiggle room here, which I also like because Hearthstone it's very rigid in the way they do things, and their card numbers are really low. So adding like 1 strength or 1 health can be a huge difference, whereas here it's not as bad.
Especially when you're using cards to attack.
Right. It is a little different, but yeah. So I like this. I don't want them just to nerf cards to be unusable. I hate that shit. I hate that philosophy about Blizzard. Pisses me off. And then they'll also take cards that are bad, and they'll just reprint the card with like an extra health point or something.
Yeah. So
it's like the same card, but now it's just objectively better than the other card because it's got 1 more HP, and that's the only difference to the card. And it's got different art and shit. It's like, why would you do this shit? Like, it's an online card game. You can fix all of these cards to be fun and useful. Like, you don't have to do it like a normal printed out on cards card game. You there's no retractions. They're just there. Just do it. Yep. Just fix them. Like, you don't have to do this bullshit. Like, you fucking assholes. I hate it so much. Ooh. I hope they don't do that kind of shit for Gwent, but there's a chance they probably will. Who knows? I don't know what their strategy going forward is. You know, it's too hard to tell what are their card expansions going to look like. Yeah. I have no fucking idea. Right.
What kind of decks are we going to get there? We're just going to get like a, what is it called? The Lodge deck, and just have a bunch of mages? Who fucking knows?
Who knows? There's so much they can still do.
Hey, CD Projekt Red, if you decide to do that idea, call me.
Copyrighted. All right, where were we? Murkfire. All right, Devenge Fet strength change from 6 to 8. Clan on Crate Warriors now lose 1 strength instead of 2. Ooh, I like that change.
That's a 100% just solid buff.
Yeah, solid buff. That's fucking great. Berserker Marauders strength change from 4 to 7.
That's the one that when sent to the graveyard becomes a Raging Bear.
Right. So, because you have to res them, it makes sense that they should be stronger to be able to res them. Why would you res a 4 that changed or something?
No, it just turns into the bear.
Oh, so they're shit, but then the bear is also changed, right?
Yeah, the bear is good, but like it's like saying, okay, play a 4, lose the round, and then you get your good card.
Oh, I see. So it's both ways. He's buffed like both ways here.
Yeah.
I like that. So the card is like good on its own, and then if you can res the bear, that's also good.
Or he doesn't become a Raging Bear, he just becomes a bear.
Or something. Yeah. I don't know. The point is,
he gets a buff no matter what.
The card I didn't like the card before. This might make him useful. Well, Raging Berserker strength changed from 4 to 6. So what I just read. Raging Bear strength changed from 8 to 11.
This is the one where if you damage them and they don't die, they turn into that bear. Yeah. That's what it was.
And the bear's immune to weather too, right? Yeah. That's powerful. That's really powerful. So that's like an 11 if you zap your own guy. I like that card. Queen's Guard strength changed from 2 to 3. Never played the Queen's Guards, but...
We don't have Sirius, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that's a good buff.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
King Bran no longer buffs the units he discards.
Which I think is really important because he could discard those...
those Reser dudes.
Yeah, and then they just pop right back out on the field with like a +5, whatever it was.
That's good.
Now my favorite parts of this whole entire thing.
We're into the neutrals, man. There's a lot of changes in here. I haven't actually read any of the neutral changes, so
I read through this whole entire thing when I woke up this morning.
Awesome. Let's do it.
The neutral cards. The Thunderbolt Potion now lets you choose 3 adjacent units and buffs all non-gold units. Among them,
it says lets you choose, but you have to pick the middle, and it buffs the 2 side ones. So don't be confused.
Yeah, do not be confused.
Pick the middle.
I think that's better than the Thunderbolt Potion, where it's like, oh, you have 9 infantry units from the Northern Realms. Click on 1. +4 to everyone.
Well, so now what is it? This is just, it's still +4 though, right?
It's +4, but it's only to 3 units. And it's any of them that are adjacent to each
other. And did it lose the Witcher tag to it?
It actually did later on in the notes.
Well, okay.
It doesn't matter if they're a Witcher or anything like that.
It's just +4.
No matter what it is. Okay. Witchers don't get bonuses
but
anymore.
But it's good though. I feel like it was kind of bad before.
Yeah.
In most situations, unless you had like a lot of copy this card and like make a shitload of them, but then it became overpowered. Whereas this can just make it in a really good medium of being stronger than Swallow.
Being a Swallow being better than Swallow because it's more stats, but it's
not all in one card, and it's a little. There's uses for both now.
Yes.
Whereas there wasn't a lot of use for Thunderbolt, except for multiple shitloads of multiple cards.
Yeah,
I like it.
And then this thing I was really excited about just because it gives like versatility to this card. There's a Dimeritium Bomb now only affects 5 adjacent units. So you pick the center one and then the 2 to the sides.
Oh, okay.
So like if they have like Foglets or something that are really weak, but they have like 6 other cards on the row.
Yeah.
You can hit those 6 other ones if you want. You don't have to or if they have weakened units, you don't have to hit the weakened units to restore them. Anything like that.
So it's kind of a nerf and kind of a buff.
Yeah, it's just situational.
Yeah, there's more situations where you can use it to your advantage or possibly to your disadvantage.
But it's essentially the exact opposite of the Commander's Horn up next, and it's the Commander's Horn's the same thing, 5 adjacent units and buffs all of them.
So it's 5 buff, which, to be fair, Commander's Horn didn't usually hit more than that, but when it did, you lost. Just straight up.
But what's really important about the whole entire positioning and everything is if you have like 3 cards, a gold card, and then a bronze card, that gold card counts as a spot.
So when you're placing gold cards, you got to be careful where the fuck you place them. Like place them onto the edges, or I guess you could even place a gold card in the middle because they are like next to one of your strong cards. Like the gold card, like there's a strong card way on the left, and then the gold card could go to the right of that one. And so if they did any adjacent shit, they can only pick one thing. Like they can only pick your big card. They can't pick all the other shit around it. You know what I mean?
So
it's a way to separate your cards as well. So that's cool.
So that's just really important to remember with like specifically that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Geralt with Ard has now been changed to ranged, which is
I think this is good because he was a little confusing beforehand.
Well, yeah, when you played him in the siege row and it's like I can't do anything.
You couldn't actually play him in the siege row.
No, you couldn't. I never tried.
Yeah. He was actually a melee and ranged only.
Yeah.
It was very specific in his card text. I just didn't notice it until I tried to play him in the row. I was like, wait, why can't I play him here? I was like, oh, you can't even. It doesn't even let you do that. So. Because like I thought I could, but you can't, it was a confusing card the way they had it set up. But I like this.
Added, I would say this is a nerf over anything else. Like, not that like when we used it we would be like not pushing things that were adjacent to each other because usually we were. Yeah. Like usually when you do.
But it is a nerf.
It is a nerf because you can't like if they play like a 7, a 3, a 3, and a 6, you can't hit that 6 and the 7. You can only hit the 3s in between with.
But I actually really like that change as well.
I do too.
Because it means you can play around Ard, whereas before there was nothing you could do.
It was just, they played him.
Yeah, I know. There's a fog, and if he happens to have Geralt right now, I know that he's going to push 3 of these dudes. So now I can plan around that bitch and like separate my dudes out.
Put gold cards in them.
Yeah, do whatever to like make sure it doesn't happen. So I like this.
First Light has been changed to fleeting, so you can't like reuse it.
So yeah, you can't pull it from the graveyard with any kind of thing like that.
Well, no, you can't pull First Light. You can pull Clear Skies or Rally from the graveyard.
But you don't get to choose the 2 anymore.
No.
So it lets you choose one or the other of the other 2.
That goes to it.
Right.
Which I think is really not like it's not a huge like, oh, this is like damaging to people, but I think it's really important to have.
Right.
but it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But I thought we were getting to the next first light problem.
No.
Never mind. We'll get to that later.
It's not yet. It's a huge buff.
So the Field Marshal Duda. The Agitator now counts as a token. The Agitator now has a fleeting. The Companion now counts as a token. Companion is now a fleeting. Okay. You know, same thing. Same thing for the Unicorn and the Kronex, whatever it is.
Yeah, from the Yennefer.
Yeah.
Roach.
Roach is now summoned before Kayran's ability is resolved. So
I think the Kayran was the one that ate
is the
things.
monster worm, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you play him out, Roach will come out, and then you use his ability so you can eat Roach.
All right. Lambert and Eskel changed to 5s instead of 6s.
And Vesemir is still a 7.
Yep.
Same thing as the other ones. You still have like the stronger card, which I think is really good.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Now, Clear Skies removes...
It's a good way to nerf them, I
yes.
feel like, you know.
Nerf that whole pull.
Yeah.
The Clear Skies removes all weather effects on the battlefield.
Feels bad, man. Feels real fucking bad, man. Come on. Just let me be OP for like another like 2 years. Is that too much to ask? Can I just be OP for a little longer?
Hey man, they can always change it back.
Can I have the 18 to like 4 or whatever win-loss ratio? Can I keep that and just keep going with it?
Well, now they just made it harder. They saw you playing too well. They saw your win-loss ratio.
They were watching me. They're like, okay, this kid, he's fucking it up for everybody. Let's get him out of here. And the thing is, I didn't see that many of them, so it was weird.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like maybe that's why it lasted as long as it did.
That you just don't see as many Clear Skies?
Well, you just don't see as many weather decks specifically. But yeah, Clear Skies. So I want to make this goddamn weather deck still work.
We will.
And the fact that it removes from everything sucks. But if you're not playing weather in every single row and just like limiting yourself a little bit, I think you can still pull it off.
Just add a couple more weather cards.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what I can do.
You heard it here.
I haven't given up.
Folks, we're going back later.
I haven't given up on the Storm deck, the Perfect Storm. It's not so perfect anymore, but we're gonna figure it out, okay?
We will.
I promise. Or it's gonna be shit, and I'll never play it after that. But I'll try. Goddammit.
Hey Joel, before we go any further, your webcam.
Oh, it's what?
It's open.
Oh, it's not doing anything, but
I know. Just thought I'd do that. I don't want like the NSA checking us out.
That's true. Then what about that webcam?
That one's checking me out.
Okay, we're good.
Different. You're
all right. Tinfoil hats on. We're good. Let's do this.
Cyprian Willie now only deals 3 base damage to an opposing non-blank unit because I can't see underneath the mouse hand. Non-gold. I knew it was that.
Yeah. You just
No effect when removed from the board. I don't know what Cyprian Willie did.
Who knows?
Siri dash. Strength changed from 9 to 8. She was a 9 before. When she goes to your graveyard, she moves to your deck and gets a +3. So now instead of being a 12, she's an 11 afterward.
Okay,
that's it.
Just a little nerf.
And she's a gold card, so that's also important. The Unicorn and Kronex no longer affect gold cards. They used to, apparently, I guess. I didn't
know that either.
Stammelford's Tremors now deal 2 damage to 6 random non-gold units.
Yeah.
Random opposing non-gold units, if available. My bad, sorry. So if they have 5, I don't think you get to hit 1 more. So that's better because it used to hit our guys too.
Right.
But now we can't do the War Cry combo.
It's cool though.
Yep. Thunderbolt Potion no longer gives Witchers an additional effect. Neither does Swallow Potion.
I like stuff that's not affecting your own shit as much. I feel like that's better. It makes that card more interesting.
It makes it more usable.
And it's to 6 random. I kind of like it.
Now we can use it in our Spelled Cheska deck and our other deck, and we can be fine.
It almost feels like it's more powerful than the Lacerate now, the Swipe. Because it hits 6 things if they have 6 things. And usually there's not 6 things in one row.
For a Lacerate, but to match that same amount of damage, you only need 4 things in a row with a Lacerate.
It's true. I don't know. It's good.
It's good.
Dimeridium
Shackles now lock the units.
Do we skip these?
Yeah, I said those.
Okay,
already.
These don't affect the Witchers at all. They just took that away.
Like, it's an 8, but if you hit a Witcher, it's a 14.
Yeah, it was weird before. I didn't like the way it worked before, honestly, because there wasn't enough Witcher cards, and like some of the Witcher cards, or a lot of them, are gold, so it was like
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I think that's good. It's just kind of an additional cute thing they wanted to do that just didn't end up working out.
But yeah, the Shackles now lock the units they affect, but do not reset them to base strength anymore. So now if you lock...
Did it lock them before?
No. Now
does it set them down and then lock them, but it doesn't reduce. What does it do? Does it just lock them?
It removes gold.
Right. So it still removes gold.
And then it locks their ability. But if like they were Northern Realms deck, if they were gold, they were in 8 or whatever when they should have been a 6.
Yeah.
When you lock them, it doesn't reduce them to base strength.
Doesn't reduce them to a 6 anymore.
But it locks. The Dimeridium Bomb does not lock, does it? It just reduces and switches out.
I don't know. I don't think so. So there's the difference there.
Yeah,
then.
so those will now lock. And it makes more sense because they're shackles as opposed to a Dimeridium Bomb.
But that means you can shackle...
anything.
You can shackle Yennefer.
Yep.
And her shit's gone. One card, shackle, whereas the bomb won't do that to her.
Nope.
The bomb, you needed to do one and the other.
Yeah.
So I like that. That makes shackles cooler. Look at you.
Look at
you look at you fucking divining into the future. I'll get them shackles, boy. They're gonna be useful. I swear it.
Joel, I promise you, it's got a blue back. It's glowing blue. We need them for later. Believe me. And little did we know.
Little did we know. They're really interesting and cool now. All right.
Renew, the one that brings back gold cards, cannot bring back
permadeath
units, which is really important because there are some that are permadeath.
Yeah.
Mustered or spawn units now appear to the right of the summoning card. So all of them do.
So if I play Wild Horseman and I play him in the middle of a bunch of cards, they'll spawn to the right of the card that I played.
Yeah, the
Wild
Horseman.
So they're not going to go to the edge of the thing. So it's important to tell, like with the positioning update, it's important to say this, like this is
read this and see that this is happening.
It might not say this on the card, but it's good to know that that's how it works. I like that.
Quen now protects from changes to base strength.
Okay.
So cards that reduce base strength, Quen will stop it.
I'm still not sure how good or bad Quen is.
I'm sure like this is just like the shackles and the bomb. It's like the higher you get, the more important it is to have said card.
Probably.
Triss Marigold can no longer target gold units again.
Of course.
No more gold.
Here we go, my favorite card.
Manticore Venom now lets you choose 3 adjacent units and deals damage to non-gold units among them. So it's the same exact thing, but it's not hitting, what are they called? Instances.
Right, so it's better now.
Yeah, so this is a 12. It's a minus 12 if you can hit 3 cards.
Wait, does it do 4?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's the same. It's the opposite of a Thunderbolt.
Whoa. So now it's like it's like a good card.
It's actually really good now, yeah.
Whoa, because it was dog shit before.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I mean, I guess the Manticore Venom would have been good against Necker decks.
Yeah.
Before, but that was about it, really. I like that.
There's a couple things later on I'm excited to talk about.
Okay.
Like in this list.
We're not even there yet. We're getting close.
I know, we're getting there. We're almost there.
It's only been an hour. We're doing good.
All abilities that lock units can be used to unlock units. Note that unlocking a unit does not bring back tokens that unit had before being locked. So if you have a resilient dwarf and you lock them and then you are unlocking them.
Yeah, they will not receive that. But if you unlock Yennefer, she'll start zapping again.
Yes.
So they keep their stat text, but they don't keep whatever buff they had that got locked off. Like,
so if you take
immune weather, it's gone. They can't unlock that. I like it.
Exceptions.
Ravided
and Assassination.
Ravided and Assassination. Okay. Ooh.
The Blizzard Potion is now a choice card. You choose between 2 cards, one applying weather immunity, the other removing it.
Hey.
So what we've always talked about is fantastic because now it's gone.
Hey. So this means that it probably didn't do that before?
I don't think it did, but because like when I said it says toggle, it should do it if it says toggle.
Should do it, and it does it now, and I love it. That's good.
I'm very happy about that.
That's so cool.
It makes it a usable card. Like,
it does.
Before it's like, yeah, it's good. I can give my resilient unit weather immunity, whatever.
Right.
But it's less useful if you're trying to put it on just like random units if you don't have a good one to put it on.
It's cool. It's not amazing still.
Or if they have weather against you. But this is good against decks like weather decks.
Does it still work like applying it to the instances of
I think
that card?
so.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Still cool. I like this. All right.
Rally now draws the top bronze unit from your deck. So the next bronze, not a random bronze.
Yeah, the top one.
So if you have 3 bronze units and you use Rally 3 times and then there's a gold unit underneath it and you end the round, you pull the gold unit next round.
So this is useful for what you just mentioned because it kind of gets the top stuff pulled through so you can potentially pull your better stuff. It also completely eliminates the chance of like pulling, like if you're doing a discard deck or something and putting shit at the bottom of your deck, you can't pull that stuff. So there's like multiple uses for this change and I like it. I think that's good.
I think it's a really good one as well. Field Marshal Duda, companion strength changed 3-1, and the companion now affects non-gold units within 4 spaces to the left. So it's in another left spot. And it's the same thing for the Agitator right here, same exact stats. It's just on the other row, on the other side of the board.
Yeah, I think this is your favorite change.
Cleaver gets a 5-6.
Girl,
my locker gets a 6,
and your other locker got a 6 or to an 8, 7 to an 8. So both the lockers got slightly buffed. I like it.
Johnny now banishes the chosen card instead of putting it on the bottom of the deck. So you would choose a card, or put it to the bottom of your deck, grab a card of the same type, like silver, gold, whatever, from their deck, and copy it and put it in both your hands, I think.
Right. So now it's banishing something.
Now it gets rid of the card that you decide.
Right. So it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cyprian Willie's strength changed from 5 to 7. Don't fucking know. Ragnarug now changes.
It's very different now.
It now removes 2 base strength from 8 random opposing non-gold units, and it's important to look at the base strength you're looking at right now. Yes.
From 8, and it's random, non-gold. Mm-hmm. So that's a 2- from 8 things. For a gold card, I don't know that I like that. The base strength is good, yes.
Hey, just remember, it does not say if available.
What do you mean if available?
Meaning if there's 4 cards on the field and you use that, it'll take it from... It'll randomize between those 4. It does not say if available. CD Projekt Red, if you're watching this...
Is that how it works then? Do you think?
I think that's how it works.
So from 8 random, so like if there's 4 things and they all have 4 health, it should in theory kill them?
Yes. It
kill
should.
them all? I would hope so. The fact this is a gold card makes this feels like a shitty card now. It was cool before.
Well, it removes base strength, which is good,
obviously, but still, I feel like it's not great.
Yeah.
For a gold card.
But see, if we're gonna move away from this shitty card, we're gonna move to the next card. So I want you to read the names of the card.
Okay, next card.
It is the Martyrum.
All right, Mutagen now resets target unit to a base strength increase by 2 relative to its initial value. What? All right, the Spores now resets the target units to a base strength increased by 2 relative to its initial value.
So instead of being it's like, -2 or +2, whatever it was, whatever.
It's -2.
It's a reset.
It resets and then minuses from whatever it reset it to.
And on the Spore side with the Mutagen, if our guy is hurt.
So like if we had, for instance, an 8 that got reduced to a 1, this would increase it back to an 8 and then put 2 to it.
Yes.
Dude.
That makes it a way better card.
That's a way better card because of that. That's another card that I fucking hated.
I know.
This card, the 2 cards I hated. I hated these fucking cards with a passion, and they're fucking amazing now.
They have
Yennefer got nerfed.
Yep. Well, it just strengthens from 5 to 4.
Good.
So
fuck
she's
you,
still gold.
Bitch. Fuck you, bitch. But yeah, so that's cool, dude. I like that.
Villain Tiller Myth.
All right, let's get. No, we're gonna soak in on these cards for a second. Holy shit, that's so cool. The possibilities, man. You reduce like some dude that's buffed to like fucking 25. Use the Spores. Bam, dude. Drop to whatever it was, a 5 before and remove 2 from it. That's fucking awesome. Holy shit. I'll just start putting that in our Spell Cheska deck.
Yeah,
we got some options now, man. Spell Cheska, it's coming.
I just like to divine into the future about how we need to play the game.
This will work. Spells will be useful.
And like it was the day the patch went through, so I knew about it.
I mean, I feel like Ragnarug will have to be in our Spell Cheska deck
at some point.
Yeah, eventually. Dude, that's all right. I'll let you continue. We're almost there.
I can't even like
Villain Trentenmerith.
Fuck that word. That's like 14 syllables.
Jesus.
Now has the permanent tag, and they also have their strength changed from 7 to 4.
Good.
So
I don't know what it was.
I'm sure they were just like a good like effect card, like a draw something card maybe.
Fuck you,
Yennefer the Conjurer, strength would change from 5 to 4.
Good.
And the Operator strength has been changed from 6 to 8. The Operator I remember was a really good card if used properly.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we made it through that list. What's in the fixes list?
It's just little shit like I was telling you where it's like, oh,
okay.
The Yennefer the Conjurer would deal damage from the graveyard after being destroyed with a cow carcass.
Yeah. Even though it wasn't supposed to, right?
They changed this though.
Yeah, the sorting. Yeah, I know they added a little extra sorting on how it works. Okay, cool. It fixed an issue whereby the cow carcass ability would trigger after both players had passed. That would kind of suck.
Yeah. That happened with the Van. Yeah, the Van Warriors ability would trigger after people would pass.
Doesn't do that, so it fixed all of those.
I lost like 3 games because of that, because it was playing Necker decks, and it's just like, okay.
Right, that's fucked up.
I won the round.
Yeah.
I passed, and then it goes.
Well, you won the round. He had already passed, and then you passed.
Yeah.
And then he ate the thing, and it like you lost.
Yeah, it was like I was winning by 1 point.
So he shouldn't have won.
Ate the Necker.
Right.
And then buffed the Necker next to it.
That's fucked up.
So.
Cool, man. There it is, the patch notes.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I'll totally zoom in on that. That's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Wow, I liked all the changes I read here. I don't think there was anything that I read other than the cow carcass shooter thingy being not removed from the game. Other than that, I think I liked all the changes.
Our Filthguard deck needs it.
I'm just saying, fuck that shit.
I just wish that card was a neutral card.
Oh man, I would not play this game anymore. Don't do it, developers. Don't do this to me.
CD Projekt Red, put a rot tosser.
Don't do this to me. No. I love your game.
Put a different rot tosser type thing into each faction.
Everything like you throw a dead Necker carcass or something like.
No, like you get like a super Catacan or something like that just like eats everything in the row.
Fuck this shit,
and
dude.
Flies back to your side.
Don't do it. Remove tags from leaders. So. That just didn't seem needed.
Remove tags?
I think leaders, how they had all sorts of random like things of like what the leader is. Like it was like not like loyal and disloyal, but things like that. How we read the Drog or the spell dude, and it's like, what the fuck does this mean? He had some weird thingy after him.
Yeah.
So it's like there was no reason for the leaders to have tags. They just did abilities anyway, for the most part. So. It seemed, I don't know. It just seemed like useless tags that didn't need to be there. Mm-hmm. But
like before we go, there's this one right here. The fixed an issue where the Alba Spearmen, they're a character that gets Quen.
Okay.
When they're played.
Okay.
So yeah, but they were getting hit by the Savage Bear or the Fireball Trap before getting Quen.
Oh, so they were.
So they were taking the damage anyway. But
yeah,
it
that
wasn't.
Sucks.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's a good change.
Yeah. So they're just doing things.
Just
like
just reordering when things happen within like the like changing the priorities of what goes first and when. I think that's good. Fix an issue whereby Fogless did not count as a destroyed when leaving. Huh. I never saw that. It's interesting. But yeah, super fun. I love the changes. What do you think? Was there any changes you really hated in here other than the positioning?
I just hate the positioning. I hate that as a thing.
I love it.
But
I'm really happy.
The problem that I have with it the most is the fact that it's like, because of the positioning, they fixed every single card that I hated.
Yeah, the positioning helped them fix the whole game.
Yeah, so it's like,
that.
It's frustrating as hell.
Right.
Because I don't want this thing to happen, but I know it's 100% necessary to make this game like better. So
in every possible way.
Yeah,
and I love it.
The only.
I mean, I guess Yennefer not being removed.
Well, that
feels bad.
That yeah, of course, or the Rot Tossers, I guess.
Yeah. Those are the two missteps. There's a lot of shit we read through here. That's 2 missteps.
The only thing
pretty good
because I used Ard so much and like just like
right
face rolled people essentially.
Having it being slightly nerfed feels bad.
Having it be like now I have to like be 3 in a line.
Be fair though,
it makes sense. I completely agree with what they're doing, but I hate it.
Usually there was only one big guy, and then there was a bunch of little guys, so you can still grab the big guy wherever he is.
Yeah, but
I guess a gold card could kind of fuck that up, right? So like gold card, because you couldn't pick a gold card to push.
No.
So if there's a gold card right next to like a good card on the side, you can just pick the 1 card instead of picking the 3 cards. So it's like, I understand. I like it though.
But do you know how many times I would fuck up Mahakam Defenders doing this?
Well, the Mahakam Defenders aren't so good anymore.
I'm aware of that, but the thing
especially
is,
with like all these new changes, set them to base strength and then minus from them. Holy shit. That's really powerful. That card was so dog shit before. That was the worst card in the fucking game, and they made it the best card ever. Like one of the best removal cards. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's almost better than a Scorch in some ways. Like, holy shit.
Well, a Scorch can hit your own guys. That can't.
No. And it won't. Well, it can actually, and it'll buff
it'll
them.
help.
Well, it can actually, and it'll actually, and it'll buff
it'll
them.
help.
But it's good. Wow, dude, Dad, I'm still salty, motherfuckers. March 23rd.
I know.
We recorded for like 9 hours on the 23rd of March.
Of just Gwent.
Yeah, only Gwent, no anything else. God damn. All right, guys, I think that's it. We've rambled on. I like this patch. This is a really fucking cool patch. Makes me happy. This
when
card
skies
game,
are gray.
the card game, I feel like is going in a really good direction, whereas I feel like a lot of the other card games I've looked at or played,
Hearthstone.
yeah, especially Hearthstone, I feel like they just go in a shittier and shittier direction with each like updates and things that they do. Like the game gets worse, and I like that they don't do that here. Like one of the biggest issues that Hearthstone has is that it's so unbelievably random. And they love adding in random cards where it's like deal, damage randomly amongst the enemy things. We have those here, but here they're useful. Whereas in Hearthstone, it's really important on which cards take the damage. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, it doesn't really matter. It just matters that all the cards are taking damage, right? But they have a shitload of cards like that. Like it's like pull a random fucking card out of your ass, discover random ass fucking cards, discover cards from this and that, and like they got all this bullshit that's just. It makes it so you're losing games purely on just how random it is, on top of the random that already exists in card games, where you have to pull good cards, right? Like you have to pull the right cards, and then you have to play your card and have the right random effect play properly. Like it's frustrating, So it makes it the least competitive of all the card games because of too much random elements that you couldn't do in a normal like actual hand card game, because they're like you can create a random card from the entirety of the Hearthstone pool of cards. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, you could get some really fucking amazing cards doing that if you're super lucky. And that's fun for you, but it's shitty for the other guy. Like it's, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And I like that they don't really have that in this game. And I'm liking it. I'm really happy. That's all I have to say. My conclusion is I'm really happy. I love this game. And I like what they're doing. I do. So we'll see you guys next time, huh? Ciao, mata.
Bye.